Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's just awesome that you're tuning in. So in today's video we are going to talk about the Pandora Box Jungle once again, because there are a lot of versions out there, and with these navigation videos I try to help you out to find which one will fit your need. It's basically the best one for you. So we're going to do in comparison with the Pandora Games 3D. I already did a review about this thing. This was the best box you can get in 2019. Here we have the Pandora DX. So the Pandora DX is the new competitor in the jungle. We have a new mainboard, new options, new stuff. We're going to do a little bit side-by-side comparison, specification, nerdy talk. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell, and become one of the Wicked family. And let's go on with the show. Alright, so let's talk about the mainboards first. What are the differences? So don't mind that I don't have encasing on around this mainboard, simply because I have one but I didn't put it on it. But it's just a basic black version, nothing special. But what is very important, what are the differences between, for example, the connections? As you can see, we have basically no difference. Everything is in the same position. So that is something is very interesting, because they did change it out from the Pandora Box 6. Watch that video if you want to have more information. But do you know what is important? When you're having let's say an older version, or you have a version that is pretty damn crappy and you want to upgrade it to the Pandora Games 3D or the DX, both if possible. Always check your connections, the positions. If they are the same, you can upgrade it with no problem. The first noticeable difference between the two mainboards is that this thing has a very nice copper cooler with a fan on it, and this thing is passive cooled. Not a big fan of the passive cooled, but it seems to be I think it's just enough, let's put it this way. So both have the way to add games. So what you can see, we're having the USB connection, but with the Pandora Box DX this is very convenient. Simply because it's a drag and drop system and everything is needed is on the USB thumb drive. Compared with the Pandora Games 3D, it's just a little bit of a nightmare. As you can see, we still have a CF card. You can basically make a copy, really in copy without any hassle, without any problems. You can just make a copy on a USB flash drive and can use it on this USB port, for example. So that doesn't even matter how you're going to configure it, but at the end, if you want to play three-dimensional games or you want to add them, it's going to be a nightmare. You need special program and a special method to add new games in the two-dimensional part. So that's a little bit of a downside to the Pandora Games 3D. Adding games is just basically a freaking nightmare. If you want to do an upgrade, as you can see over here, we're having both an EDA connection. Most of the time Pandora boxes are using this, so it's just basically plug and play. Very easy, very convenient. All the functionalities are here. For example, we're having here the speaker connection, and of course this one loses a jumper, but normally here goes the plug for the on and off. Alright, so let's do a little bit of nerdy talk. If you look at the specification, it's quite interesting. So this device is running on an AM Logic S812. That is basically an ARM Cortex A9 quad-core CPU. We're having here 4 chips, that makes in total 2 GB, what I understand of. And the GPU is a Mali 450 MP6. So if you look at the specification, it's quite powerful compared with all the other devices. So let's grab ourselves the DX. If you look at the DX, what you're going to get is the Rockchip 3128. That's basically a quad-core Cortex A7 MP. It's in high performance but low power, and maybe this explains why we're only having a passive cooling. The GPU is a Mali 400 MP2, and for the DDR we're having 2 gigs on one chip. So when it comes to the performance, the Pandora Box 3D is more beefcake than the DX. It's a little bit more beefcake, but at the end what you're going to get, this thing is more powerful. Alright, so this is more like the nerdy talk. Let's go with the show again. So the menu itself looks very similar to the previous models like the Pandora Box 5, 6 and Pandora Box 9, for example. It's a little bit of a shame. I would love to see something different, because if you're going to use this device, it is going to be really annoying because it's one big gigantic list. They added the search function in combination the category system in one new page. So basically we're having this extra menu that you can call when pressing the start button. It's a little bit similar like the Pandora Box 6, only they added some minor new features, for example 3-player and 4-player mode, if you want to use controllers in combination with the arcade stick, for example. This is what you're going to get with the Pandora DX if it comes to all the functionalities in the menu. When it comes to the Pandora Games 3D, this is what you're going to get. It comes in this very nice fancy menu. You also have the all list, or well, the shit pile of game list, but we also have a categorized system, and this thing is way better. As you can see, we can swap between the list very easily, and I think navigating through this menu works a little bit better. At the end we're going to get the same result, only it looks of course different. But I prefer the Pandora Game 3D menu if you ask me. Pandora Box DX gives us some new features if it comes to the scanline option, for example. So we have finally the new filter, but they didn't change the aspect ratio. I think we're asking for it for quite some time now, but it seems to be that they're not listening. The quality optimization is still here. We can turn it off, and I'm very happy that they did, because I don't like the quality optimization in general, but it is something more like a personal thing. I must say, if you're looking at the filter option, it's something more like you need to decide for yourself if you like it or not. I'm not a big fan of the scanline in general. I just want to have the original pixelated games. But the Pandora Games 3D has, of course, the option already built in from the start. So that is something that was new, but I didn't like. But in general, if you're putting them side by side with the games and the support, the Pandora Games 3D wins it big time, because we're having way more support for different games. If you look at the list, you can see we're having PSP, Sega Dreamcast, and many other systems that the Pandora DX doesn't have. The DX has now the option for adding Super NES, Mega Drive, but that's it. And only a couple of 8-bit, 16-bit stuff, and that's what you're going to get. Pandora Games 3D wins it again. So if you're looking at the menu of the Pandora Game 3D, we're having already the option of scanline over here and HD, or you can just turn it all off. Some of these have the game market, I call it the naughty store, and I also read here and there that there's not a very good option. It comes with many problems. So let's get into the scanline option, because this is a little bit of a downside. I turn it on, as you can see, but with this game it doesn't apply. I don't know why this is. Maybe with other games it do work, but let's be honest, if you're having a scanline option, it needs to basically can be used for everything. I needed to double check it, but what you can see that it is on scanline and we have no scanline. Okay, what the hell is going on? So basically they messed it up. So when it comes to side-by-side comparison, for example PlayStation 1, you can see there is not a big difference over here. Both systems run the games quite well and they look very good. Alright, so a quick test with the Mortal Kombat 1 game, and I noticed that Mortal Kombat runs better on the Pandora Game 3D when you're putting them side by side. You can see that the Pandora DX, there is kind of lag into the game itself. It's very noticeable when you're having the title screen. But the game itself runs just fine. The next step, we are going to do a testing of a game called Blood Bros, and I'm going to show you the sound effects between the two main boards. Alright, so to conclude about the Pandora DX versus the Pandora Games 3D, I can say that this thing is still superior compared with the DX. It's older but still superior in many ways. Okay, the cooling element, I don't like this passive cooling to begin with. I already mentioned it, I really hate it. I did see some different holes, so maybe we can apply a better one in the future. The connections are basically all the same. But adding games to the Pandora DX is very easy compared with the Pandora Game 3D. We're going to need a program for it, or there isn't a very complex way to add games. The 3D folder is possible, but it is very limited to the three-dimensional games. If it comes to emulation, the Pandora Game 3D doesn't suffer from the sound issues or so far I have here with a couple of games compared with the DX. So this is what you're going to get, the Beefcake DX, better said more like a Beefcake Pandora Box 6. Let me know if you have any questions. The undefeated winner is the Pandora Game 3D. This is what you're going to get. Consider subscribing, hit the little bell, and I will see you in the next video.